you know, civics class, when you don't even do your own research, it's not hard to Google the stats yourself about the 5,000 homeless in Edmonton, the 5,000 homeless in Calgary.
Look, Jason, you can scream, do your homework, until your remaining tooth falls out. But let's take a quick inventory of who the fuck you are. You're a card-carrying Sons of Odin LARPer, who helped found that fake Freedom Convoy clown parade, got sued into next Tuesday by Ottawa citizens, got absolutely curb-stomped in the 2022 federal election, and had Ontario police camping outside your door because you couldn't stop doing hateful speech about immigrants. So you packed your shit, fled to Alberta like a cockroach when the lights come on, and now you sit on a porch in a baseball cap calling me an idiot? Jason, you couldn't pass a breathalyzer test, let alone a fact check. And no, at no point did you actually respond with facts. Your first reply was just crying about me personally. Zero facts, just vibes and victimhood. Your second reply? The exact same made-up numbers I'm about to shove back down your throat. It's real easy to tell people to do their research when your own research is pulling numbers out of your ass while wearing a Sons of Odin patch and pretending you're a Viking instead of a guy who lost a lawsuit to people who own actual homes. You sat on that porch talking about visible stats, so let's actually read the real data. You literally doubled homelessness. You claimed 5,000 in Edmonton and 5,000 in Calgary. The official 2024 point-in-time counts from Homeward Trust Edmonton and the Calgary Homeless Foundation put it at 3,902 in Edmonton and 3,121 in Calgary. You invented nearly 4,000 imaginary homeless people because the truth wasn't dramatic enough for your little porch vlog. That's not a margin of error. That's a fantasy novel. You tripled frostbite stats and made up wheelchairs. You said 300 people lost limbs since January. Alberta Health Services reports show severe winter frostbite procedures in Edmonton peak at 110 to 120 per year. And that's counting individual fingers and toes, not 300 full humans rolling into wheelchairs. You looked at a medical stat, didn't understand it, multiplied it by 3, and added wheelchairs for shock value. That's not research. That's a lie you tell your Sons of Odin buddies around the campfire while you all pretend you understand policy. You still don't know basic Canadian civics. You're screaming about federal immigration causing local tent cities and ER wait times. Section 92 of the Constitution Act makes healthcare, housing, shelters, and addiction services 100% provincial jurisdiction. You're blaming Ottawa because the government in Edmonton, where you actually live, can't manage a hospital budget. That's not a political opinion, Jason. That's failing 9th grade social studies while wearing a costume and thinking it makes you look tough instead of terrified of real history books. And here's the beautiful part. The healthcare system you hate is kept alive by the immigrants you want gone. Stats Canada shows 1 in 4 healthcare workers are immigrants, 37% of physicians, 25% of registered nurses, and 42% of nurse aides. If your mass deportation wet dream happened, those ERs wouldn't speed up. They'd board up the windows. You'd be sitting in that waiting room with your chest pains and your racist little patch, waiting for a doctor who isn't there because you got him deported. The irony would kill you faster than the wait time. Trust me, bro, isn't a source. I can see it everywhere, isn't a statistic. If you're going to call people idiots, maybe don't be a guy whose greatest hits include sued by Ottawa, lost an election, investigated by police for immigrant hate speech, fled provinces to escape his own reputation, and still unironically wears Sons of Odin merch like it's a personality trait instead of a red flag with sleeves. Bring an AHS document. Bring a StatsCan link. Bring literally anything other than the desperate delusions of a man whose political career died so hard he had to move west to find people who didn't know his name. And honestly, the comedy peak of this whole cinematic masterpiece? You literally stitched my original video. You grabbed my clip calling out your total lack of civic sense, attached your own face to it, and used TikTok's premier clapback feature just to smugly announce on camera, "We don't have to prove nothing to you." Masterful strategy, Jason. Absolutely revolutionary media production. You stitched my warning about your ignorance just to give a live-action 60-second demonstration of it, right before pulling 3 completely fabricated numbers out.